What's going on, everybody? This is Sanitary 103 here again, promoting clean eating and a clean and healthy lifestyle. So in this video, I'm going to go over the top 5 ways to prevent binge eating. Now, there's nothing worse than being really good on your diet, you've been really strict, you've been really good, and all of a sudden you have a binge. You kind of feel like all that hard work that you've been putting in is just going right down the tubes, and that's a real big problem. So without much further ado, let's go over the top 5 ways to prevent binge eating. The first tip is to schedule an actual cheat meal. I recommend, once a week. It's not going to really hurt you, or if you want to be even more strict, once every 2 weeks. But whatever the regimen that you want to be on, have an actual cheat meal scheduled. By doing this, you'll have something to look forward to, and it may prevent you from binge eating. Because if you're on a diet and you're starting out and you never have a cheat meal, and you always feel like you're depriving yourself of something, guess what? That's what leads to a binge. By having a cheat meal, it's going to be less damage control, and it'll help recharge your batteries and hopefully prevent the binge. The second tip is to make incremental changes when you start a diet. This is especially important for beginners. A lot of people that haven't been dieting, pretty much their whole life, or they're trying to make a lifestyle change, they'll often go through extreme measures. They'll basically go from eating junk food for the majority of their life to eating just lean protein and a lot of vegetables. What that does is that, really shocks your system, and a lot of people just cannot take it, and then they end up binge eating because it's just too extreme. You don't have to be that extreme when you start dieting. Just make some small incremental changes. Switch out, let's say, a soda a day for some water. If you're used to eating dessert for dinner, just skip it and have, let's say, a cup of coffee plain, something like that. By making gradual changes in your diet, it can hopefully prevent the binge. Tip number 3 is to make gradual changes while you're working out as well. If you're a person that hasn't been working out for a long time and then you go from that to 6 days a week for a couple of hours, you're gonna burn out. And I've seen this happen a lot, where a lot of people, they work out way too much. They get to a point where they're so exhausted and they get frustrated, and they also feel like they can eat whatever they want because they've been working out, which is usually not true, and that leads to binge eating. So just like with the diet portion that I talked about in tip number 2, with tip number 3 in the exercise portion, you don't have to go balls to the wall right off the bat, especially if you're a beginner. If you're used to only walking around the block for a few times a week, try slowly jogging. Once your heart rate gets better and your lung capacity improves, you can start, increasing the mileage little by little. Same thing goes with weights. And by doing this, hopefully it'll feel like more of a lifestyle change, and it won't prevent you from feeling deprived and wanting to eat. Tip number 4 is to relax a little bit and not to be so hard on yourself. Don't have this all or none mentality. And this is a very common trait amongst a lot of binge eaters. They'll feel really good about their diet. They'll eat one cookie and then say, you know what, I'm just gonna eat one more. And then they say to themselves, I blew it completely. I had 2 cookies, it's over. So you know what, I'm just gonna eat the whole bag. Even if you were to eat a few cookies, it's not a big deal. If you stay within your caloric limits for the day, overall you're still gonna be okay. So it's not a big deal. Try to relax, don't have the all or none mentality, and hopefully that'll help you not binge as much. Last but not least is tip number 5, and that is to have a strong network of friends that you can confide in. Now, a lot of binge eaters are also emotional eaters. So whatever problems you have, it might be better off trying to tackle the issue at hand and confide in a friend. If you're having a real bad day and you're always, going for the bag of chips, that's not gonna really solve the problem. That's a common characteristic of binge eating. So if there's any good friends or family that you can talk to about, hopefully that can lessen the chances of overeating. Thank you once again for watching another video. I really appreciate it. All comments and questions are always welcome. Be sure to subscribe to my channel for all the latest in diet, health, and fitness. See you guys next time. Bye.